engaging celebrity interviews, exciting updates from Christian filmmakers, movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely, and so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello and welcome to Faith on Film. I'm so thrilled that you have joined us for today's episode. I've got a little bit of a different type of program for you today. You see, I've been going over some of the programs that we did last year, some of the interviews, and realized that there was some really good interviews that were done, and you may not have seen them. And so what I want to do is bring them back out on this show so that you can have that opportunity to watch these great interviews. The first one that I'm going to show you today is actually one that Holly did with Roma Downey and Doug White. Now, Roma produced a film called On a Wing and a Prayer, a really wonderful, inspirational film, true story of none other than Doug White. And his character was played, by the way, by Dennis Quaid. It's just a wonderful actor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the trailer, and then from there we're going to go to this interview that Holly did with Roma.
Have this kind of movie on Faith on Film, then your kind of movie, because there definitely is faith in this movie, and it's wonderful to see. It was an exciting movie, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Holly.
Glad you know, I tell you that Doug, Isaac watched it, I watched it, and he said, boy, from a male perspective, he goes, it was intense. He goes, I was like going, what would I do if my family was in the plane? What would I do if my daughters, and so it really did stir that kind of emotion. So our question is, the note said that after you had this experience, you started flying again. I mean, that didn't put the fear of God in you to get in a plane and be a pilot again?
Yeah, a buddy of mine told me last week before last, he said, how'd you get home that night? I said, we got 4 tickets on Delta Airlines. He said, I wouldn't have flown home after that. I'd have drove home. I'd have walked home. But I had a decision to make right after that with all the emotion and everything. Am I going to get back on the horse that threw me, as I said earlier, or am I never going to get back on again? I said, I'm going to get back on the horse. So I got focused again like I did on that airplane, and I'm going to learn how to fly this thing. So I went basically from a Cessna 172 trainer to a King Air 200. I skipped everything in between. But I went on and got my instrument rating, my multi-engine, my commercial, and ended up over 1,000 hours on that. And we flew wounded warriors around the country and flew into Haiti in that airplane about 8 times after the earthquake and delivering stuff. So I got after it. I could have quit and gone the opposite direction, but I'm geared up different, I guess. But so
God used you in a mighty way. He used your experience. How did it feel to have Dennis Quaid play you, Doug?
Probably could have done a better job than Quaid, but I wasn't going to fool with it for $10 million. I said, give it to Quaid. But no, I'm flattered. He's not a B-list. He's not a B-list player. So he did a great job. He called me 4 or 5 times during filming. And let me ask you a quick question. What were you thinking when you did this and didn't do that? And I'd tell him, he's okay, got it. And he'd call me back. And my daughter and son-in-law were in the film in a little bit part, and they both said on 2 different occasions, it's absolutely eerie, the mannerisms that Quaid has that are exactly like Dad's. Matter of fact, one time they saw him walking across the stage from behind, they thought it was me. So he gets an A for his work.
Yeah, he did an excellent job for us. We're so thrilled with his performance. I think he really portrays, the first third of the movie. We wanted to show a family with joy, a normal family, so that when the incident occurs, we really understand the peril and the potential risk of what they're going to lose. And I think through Dennis's extraordinary central performance in this, Heather Graham, of course, is amazing as his wife, and Jesse Metcalf rounds out the star cast with the role as the expert pilot that helps to talk them down on the ground. But we gathered a great team to bring Doug and his family's story to the screen. And I think that audiences everywhere will be thrilled with the results, and even more so when, they realize that it is a remarkable true story.
It is. And there were so many people involved in this. Did you ever, Doug, get a chance afterwards to talk to every single, there was so many people that had input. and getting you down and interested and passionate about, the rescue people. I mean, did you have a chance to meet those people?
The next year, the Air Traffic Controllers Union, NATCA, NACA, had their annual convention, and they flew us down to Florida to meet all of them and watch them win a once-in-a-lifetime award. And I had some plaques made for each one of them and presented it to them. It's on YouTube. And so I met all of them, and Kerry Sorensen, the fellow that was in Danbury, Connecticut, helping us on the cell phone. I flew the King Air up there. I spent the weekend in his house. So I know them all. I've got all their cell phone numbers, and we'll be friends for life. It's like going through combat with somebody. You'll know them for the rest of your life, and that's what it was.
Yes, and Roma, there was such a divine message without even preaching it. It's there, isn't it, in this kind of a film and story?
Yeah, I think that was probably the thing that was most appealing to me about the script. When the script turned up on my desk at Lightworkers, Brian Egiston wrote a wonderful screenplay. And, if it's not on the page, it's not on the stage. So it began with his screenplay. And then we also, as in real life, where it required so many people had their hands on it. And then obviously God had his hands all over it. Likewise, as I started putting the pieces of the film together with my producing partner, Autumn Bailey Ford, and the director, Sean McNamara, and we pulled this extraordinary cast together. And Doug and I were just talking about the aircraft that was built and the technicians that were involved in recreating that and the special effects. I mean, it really does take a village to make anything. But in this case, for our movie On a Wing and a Prayer, we brought a great team together. And at the beginning of it, we prayed into it as well. At Lightworkers, we never do anything that we don't begin with prayer. And ultimately, what was generated is a movie that's a thriller. It plays out like a thriller in the air that delivers a story of inspiration and hope. And ultimately, all the glory belongs to God.
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely. Well, it's a wonderful testimony of faith, and it's a wonderful story coming out for Easter. I mean, this is great timing, you guys. What a perfect story to come out to celebrating Easter and the reason for the season, for sure.
That's right, and the actual event in Doug's life happened on an Easter weekend, happened on Easter Sunday. So when Amazon Prime told us that they were going to stream the movie for Easter, we were just thrilled. It's a perfect story. It's a story that families can gather around the TV together, Holly. It's a family-friendly film, and there seem to be fewer and fewer of those these days that we feel comfortable watching with our kids and with our grandparents. So we're very pleased about that. I think that it will be an inspirational story for Easter for families everywhere, and they can see it on Prime starting April 7th.
And I'm just curious, Doug, now that you've seen the movie and you've seen Dennis Quaid play you and you've seen all the scenes, and Roma, I'm going to ask this too. Doug, what is your favorite scene? What's the one that you really like out of the whole movie that you've seen that really touched you, or you love the way it was portrayed?
Very last scene when Quaid's eating a sandwich and he's deleting all the voicemails on the answer machine, requesting interviews. All of my family said, "That's so Doug right there." Because I got inundated with all these national TV shows within 36, 72 hours after it happened. Oprah and Ellen DeGeneres and Craig Smith, or whatever his name was, at CBS, all these things. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally ready to deal with all that. I mean, I barely got home, and here they are. They got cell phone numbers of family members of mine that I don't have the cell phone numbers for. Right? How they do that, I don't know. Can you get us in touch with Doug? Can you get us? So, yeah, but deleting all those messages at the end was spot on.
And Roma, did you have a favorite scene now that you've seen it?
Well, I think for me, the tension and the emotional investment that I have in the family as an audience member. So when the plane is finally landed, and Dennis as Doug, the kind of relief flooding into his body, and he says thank you to the Lord, because I think we all, we've all been in times of crises or have challenges come in, and we've all reached out in prayer, but it's the reminder to also say thank you when, deliverance, when when their lives were saved, the hand of God had to have been on them that day, and remembering just to thank the God for the gift of that.
Well, we love this movie, and I just pray that it is successful. And I love that it's on Amazon, because a lot of people can see it now everywhere. And that's the fun part of this, is that it's not a just theater-going movie, but now people can really tune in and watch it and spread the word and tell family members. And Doug, what an inspiring story! Thank you so much. And Roma, thank you for coming and sharing with us about the movie. And we wish you much success. And we'll be following to see how God takes this, and who knows, the lives that'll be impacted and people spared and saved because they've been through a situation and they saw what your faith was and then the journey you came through. It inspires so many. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Holly.
My pleasure.
Hi, I'm Lee Allen Baker from Bringing Back Christmas, and you're watching Faith on Film.
On A Wing and a Prayer, starring Dennis Quaid and Heather Graham, available on Amazon Prime. Now, there was another movie that I watched last year that I really enjoyed. Now, it is a rom-com, but some of you know that I enjoy rom-coms almost as much as I enjoy action movies. This one is starring Lara Silva, who, of course, plays Eden on the series The Chosen, and Jason Berkey. Divine Influencer is actually a finalist at the 51st Annual ICVM Crown Awards. It's a great movie, very funny. And I think you would enjoy the movie, so make sure and find it, Divine Influencer, and watch the movie. I'm going to show you the trailer right now, and then we'll go right into the interview that I did with the star, Jason Berkey.
Serving here is helping me find God.
Hey guys, it's Liv.
360,000 followers.
Cute. Tag me in that.
You can't shake me. You can't break me.
So on trend. Smash that subscribe button. Stay tuned. Who bought all this adorable stuff? It's moi.
I love influencing people, like where to shop, who to know.
Hi, Mom.
We're cutting you off financially.
No.
We're only doing this because we love you.
I used to have the most amazing life. A beautiful home.
My life is in shambles. I need to sell some of these.
No, Bruno, freeze!
Olivia, I had the locker next to yours. I work at Harvest Rescue Mission.
I was hoping you might have a job for me.
You'd have to live here, and
I'd have to live here?
I'm asking you to put her to work.
Guess it can't get any worse than this. Oh, okay. I get it.
The truth is, we're just running out of money. We'll have to close the shelter.
That's not an option.
How can I help?
You know, the shelter is a place for second chances. Could influence people here.
You've got to plan something that people believe they can't afford to miss.
Liv might just rescue our rescue mission.
See you at the gala.
She's a complete fraud.
Ryan, wait, please, wait. I was desperate for a place to stay.
What you do, it affects other people.
I thought I was on the right track.
You got this.
Give me a sign.
True influence is having people follow you because of how you positively affect them.
When I was an influencer, I really thought I was making a difference. Serving here is helping me find my purpose. Being here is helping me find God.
Jason, welcome to Faith on Film.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you bet. A couple of weeks ago, we spoke with Sherry Rigby, who, of course, is the director of the movie Divine Influencer, of who you are one of the stars. And we'll be talking about that today. But I was looking over at your IMDb page, and I noticed you've been in like 75 different projects, dating all the way back to, I think it's 2009. By now, it may even be over 75. I don't know. But before we get started and you talking about Divine Influencer, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story and how you got started in acting?
Yeah, I grew up kind of in a theater home. My mom was a theater director and actress, and so I grew up doing theater my whole life, all the way through college. And it was after college that I decided to pursue acting. And it was something that was always in me that I loved to do. I never thought that it was a realistic career choice. And when I dive into things, I just kind of dive in head first. And so I did that with acting back in, 2008 or so. And I haven't looked back. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's such a collaborative thing. Filmmaking is the most collaborative art form, I think. Yeah. And I love being a part of that.
Now, were you a believer already back then? Because I know pretty much all the projects I've seen you on are Christian projects. Were you a Christian at that time, or was it something that happened later?
I grew up in a Christian home, absolutely. And it just happened to be that my career started in the faith-based world. It was when I met the Irwin brothers, who were directors, and we worked on a project together, and that led us to doing the movie October Baby. And then once October Baby came out, it really kind of blew open doors for me to do more faith-based films. And so since I moved to Atlanta, I've also been able to do a lot of television and some other movies as well. So, yeah.
I see. Now, okay, so Divine Influencer is, of course, I guess the latest project that you are part of. Can you tell us a little bit about how this came about, how you ended up getting cast for this role?
Yeah, so Sherry Rigby, the director, we worked together and we met on October Baby back in 2009. And so we remained good friends. And when I saw the audition for this movie kind of, come across my inbox, and I saw Sherry was directing it, I wanted to be a part of it. So auditioned for it, had a callback for it with Laura, who plays Olivia, and we just had a great chemistry, and I'm glad that it worked out, because it was really a fun experience to be able to be directed by Sherry. So many years later.
So it was great working with her then. You can tell us the truth.
Yes, that is the truth. Yeah, she's a great director, because she's also an actress, so she knows how to speak to actors. She knows how to get what she needs, and she's really open to collaboration, and that's huge. So, yeah.
She's also such a great person.
Yes, that too. That helps. That helps. You don't always get that.
I've known lots of directors, and we won't get into that.
Right. Yeah.
So okay, what do you find to be the most important message of Divine Influencer?
I would say ultimately the message is be open to what God's purpose for your life is. You may think that it's one thing.
Right.
And it could be something totally else. You could, like Olivia in the movie, loses everything and then discovers what true influence means when she starts working at this homeless shelter. So I think being open to where God's leading you and follow that path, even if it seems crazy or doesn't make sense, which is easier said than done, but yeah.
Well, one thing that I found is, number one, that it's very relevant to today, because the internet and social media has just made stars out of so many people with, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but with not a whole lot to say other than to just do silly stuff. I mean, in her case, it was shocking. Right. Okay. Right. And yet I feel like there's so much more that could be done, like you said, as an influencer. And so this film really did kind of point out, look, you're an influencer, but you can really make an impact with the fact that you are an influencer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm with you. Yeah, I think nowadays people are just famous for being famous, and it's like, don't know what they're contributing. And there are others that are contributing great things. So yeah, I think it's very important to use whatever platform you have to help others in some way, to give back.
I tell you what drives me a little crazy sometimes about people is I'll sometimes post something, and I'm not an influencer in any way, shape, or form, but I'll post something, really deep, some kind of spiritual, spiritual message of some sort. A few people will, like it, and maybe a couple might comment. Then I'll post something more personal where I literally fell one time. I fell down. I was on a cruise, and I'm taping myself. I'm thinking, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to tape myself walking. And I fall down. I post that. Suddenly, I'm getting thousands of views.
Yeah, millions. I mean, you're right. I mean, it's like, I don't know why. People love watching other people fall.
They must. So anyway, now, was there a particular scene that maybe, I know there was a lot of very emotional scenes and just a lot of real poignant scenes, but is there something that, a specific scene that maybe you liked the best?
Oh, gosh. That is really tough.
Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to stump you.
I know. I'm always stumped with this question, though. On any project, I'm like, "What's my favorite?"
Right.
I think one of them was a scene where Olivia and my character Ryan. We just got some really great news about the homeless shelter, and we're going out to celebrate. So we walked to go to this taco truck, and her character and mine, we went to high school together back in the day, and this is the first time we reconnect in this movie 10 years later. And so you get to find out a little bit more about Ryan's past, and she apologizes for the way she was in high school. And so it was a great scene for both of our characters to kind of to reconnect so many years later after high school. I think it was just a fun scene, and we shot it at night, and it was freezing outside, and we kind of had to pretend we weren't cold, so that's always fun. But yeah, that was one that stands out.
Oh, well, nice. It's great to see the quality of faith-based movies just really beginning to rise in the past few years. And this is definitely one of those. I enjoyed it. It's available on PureFlix. So folks, get out there. If you are a follower of PureFlix, get out there and watch it. If you're not, subscribe now because you don't want to miss this movie. Jason, anything new that you might be working on that you can tell us about? I know a lot of times we ask this question and the actor or director or producer will say, yeah, but I can't talk about it right now.
No, I can't talk about it.
Is there something you could talk about?
Yes, yeah. I just I had a small supporting role on the movie The Beanie Bubble that's on Apple TV right now about
the Beanie Bubble,
the Beanie Baby explosion of the 90s. So worked on that, and then I've got a film coming out next year called The Paper Bear. That's really kind of a conservation film about protecting the wildlife down in the Panhandle in Florida, which is the most biodiverse area in the country down there. So that's one I'm really proud of. That should be out sometime next year.
Cool. Well, listen, how can people follow you so that they're aware of everything that you're doing?
Yeah, I haven't been on social media in 10 years, so it's kind of hard to follow me. But
just give them your personal address.
Website, jasonberkey.net. You can find me there.
Okay.
Or, find me on the sidewalk somewhere. You'll be fine.
Well, listen, it was great having you on. We had hoped that we'd put you on together with Sherry, but it didn't work out. But I'm glad we had a chance to do it now.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Folks, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jason Berkey from Divine Influencer, and you're watching Faith on Film.
Divine Influencer, available on PureFlix and Amazon Prime. It's a wonderful movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Very funny, and I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it as well. So go out there and watch it if you haven't already. And if you have, watch it again. So anyway, we have come to the end of this special episode with some of the interviews from 2023 from last year. Hope you enjoyed them. I'm sure there will be some more that I'm going to find as I look over more of the episodes that we did in 2023. And as I find some of these really good interviews, I will bring them to you again. Now, I do want to take a little time to say thank you to our sponsors, Encourage TV. Capernaum Studios, and Bunkowski Law. If it wasn't because of their support of this program, we may not be able to get these programs to you, but their support has been just wonderful for us. It's allowed us to bring these programs to you. But there is one other thing that I would like to ask of you, and that is this. Write us a little email. Just send us a little email, just letting us know where you're at and that you're watching. We're not going to be sending you all kinds of emails back to you. We just want to hear that you're out there. So write us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. And then next, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at faithonfilmtv. And finally, check out our YouTube channel. Simply go to youtube.com/@faithonfilmtv. We really would love for you to become a part of our family. Let's say that. Let's call this our family. There's a lot of shows on there. When you go to our YouTube channel, you will find at this point I think it's like 192 shows, so that you can go back on demand and watch any one of those shows that you want. And while you're there, though, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It just makes you a part of what we're doing here. And of course, while you're there, hit that little notification bell. That way you will get notified every time we put in a new episode, which is about one a week. But it'll let you know as soon as it's put up on there, you'll know that episode exists. So hit that little notification bell. Well, that's it for this show. We look forward to many great shows coming up in the future this year. We've got a lot of great opportunities for some interviews with some pretty big stars, so you don't want to miss any of our shows. Well, until next week, take care.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.